Welcome back, fellow enemies of the fire. Anyway, I apologize. I'm sorry. We are here to talk about the Nations League roster that Pochettino just dropped into the timeline. I don't know, man. I don't know. Rosters. Gentlemen, who's really taken a look at this yet? Has anybody? I haven't.
I haven't. No, I haven't either.
Me neither. I wanted it to be fresh. I just knew it happened. So, actually, I take that back. I did hear two names. James, did you see this beforehand? You had to. You prepped it.
I got it.
No, I didn't get a chance to take a look at it, but let's start with the goalkeepers. Patrick Schulte, Zach Steffen, and Matty Turner.
How do we feel?
I mean, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm like, where is the real U.S. number one for the 2026 World Cup? Is it really going to be Zach Steffen? Is it really going to be Matt Turner? Is it really going to be Patrick Schulte? Maybe if I have a little more faith. I just don't know. Is this really going to be the World Cup right here? One of these three is going to be starting in the World Cup. I can't believe that there's nobody better.
That's a loaded word, but let's break this down. In my opinion, I'm a little bit on your side because of this. I think Chris Brady is better than Patrick Schulte, and then Zach Steffen's not bad, but like, man, things are rocky. If he is the number one by the World Cup, that's one of the greatest redemption stories in human history.
Oh my God, come back up.
And then Matt Turner is not. I'm not gonna lie. I was a Steffen over Turner guy, and Turner then played well. And ever since like the World Cup, Turner has fallen off a cliff. Now he's playing for Crystal Palace, we found out, but like, I don't know, man. He plays in the Premier League. I guess you shouldn't talk shit about that, but man, it's tough to feel confident.
You guys want to move on to defenders, unless you got
goalkeepers are goalkeepers, man. I mean, it's a mixed bag. I mean, I don't have any opinions on it. It's either or. I mean, like you guys mentioned, Matt Turner is kind of trying to revive his career again, and Zach Steffen, for whatever reason, I kind of feel like he's been on this whole process for like 7 years already, and the comeback
has been 7 years.
I don't see a number one on this list. On that short list of goalkeepers, I'm like, I don't see a guy who I'm like, yep, that's the number one guy right there. It's not clear, and it's clearly not that, in my opinion, as well.
We were spoiled for 30 years. That's part of the problem. We had some of the best keepers on planet Earth for 30 years.
I mean, at least the milkman's not there because, I'm sorry, time has passed him by. Sean Johnson of the great Chicago Fire. It's passed him by, but that's the same thing I feel about Matt Turner. It's the same thing I feel about Zach Steffen. It's not passed by Patrick Schulte. It might be his time, but I'm still looking at this like, how is there nobody better to choose from?
I think Chris Brady could be considered in this mix, but then again, if you think about that doesn't make me feel that much better.
No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
and Gago Slonina thinking he was going to be in line. Nope.
No,
I mean, it's never who you. Yeah, it's not easy to predict these things.
No. It's not easy being green. And speaking of green, we'll talk about the big green. That's right, Cameron Carter-Vickers. Defenders include Marlon Fossey, Mark McKenzie, Tim Ream, Chris Richards, Anthony Robinson, the Jedi, and Joe Scallywag, and Austin Trusty but Rusty. And
I don't see why they keep calling back Tim Ream. Like,
he's the beyond Anthony Robinson. Who else is good? Who else?
This is the time.
You need that leadership. You need that leadership.
How old is Tim Ream?
35.
No, he's got to be 36.
I think Tim. You need that leadership. Look at that group. You need that leadership.
37.
Oof.
37.
Oof.
Right? Yeah.
He's gonna be 38 next year.
He could easily do that leadership stuff on the bench as a coach.
Well,
if they kick Zlatan off the team when he was 39, I can barely, I can't see a reason
He's not going to play. He's there for the leadership. Mark
Okay, so you could
McKenzie,
have
Austin
coulda-
Trusty, these guys, and they need some help. We have some talent at that position. I've been a Mark McKenzie truther for a long time, and I like Chris Richards is doing really good things. And I mean, the center back.
I want somebody who's
The
doing
center back
great
position's
things, and that's
Tim Ream has become the Jeff Agus of this team. Like early 2000s, he has become the Jeff Agus of this team.
Yeah, the guy like him, he's still around. Or,
Yeah,
man, I feel like Pablo Mascheroni was around a lot longer than he should have been.
yeah.
I
Yes.
love Pablo though. He's so great.
Oh, Pablo was pretty great.
He's a smart guy.
But I don't know how, like Austin. I mean, obviously Anthony Robinson, the truth, but like Joe Scally's got to play right back, right? I mean, Dest is back, which let's all for a second bask in the glory that Serginho Dest being back from injury is right now.
Crazy's back. Crazy is
Thank
back. You're
you.
right.
It's back.
Thank you,
Crazy
soccer
is
He
back.
didn't
gods.
make the team, but
he just came back.
but he
Screw it.
just
didn't
came
need to
back,
be-
so that explains
Yeah.
why.
Pochettino was smarter than that. He's like, I don't want this guy pissed off on the field. I don't want. I
need
don't
to
want
get
a
hurt
walking
again.
yellow card.
No.
Dude,
Yeah.
Serginho Dest is gonna prove to you. He
He's
gets
gonna
no
prove.
love.
Yeah, he's gonna prove to me when he does like a sliding tackle from behind. You're right.
Dog, one of the best players one of the best players ever for one of the best teams to ever exist. Drop kicked a man in the stands. All right, don't talk to me about crazy.
You know what? You see,
Guys, we're
you
losing
don't,
the plot. We're
you don't
losing the
talk.
plot.
Okay, don't you dare talk about King Eric like that, bro.
All right,
I'm gonna tell you
James,
that right now.
how do you feel about our defense? How do you feel?
It's not as bad a problem as the goalkeeping, where I'm like at least I see some reason to have hope. I have some people I can trust with a job back there, but it's not really a comfortable position. I'll tell you that. It's good, but is it good enough? No.
I think so, and I think some of these kids
It's the
are gonna
best they
come
can
good.
do. Here's the thing. It's the
a
best
mixed
they
bag.
can do, but I'm looking to win the World Cup.
I mean,
And
I'll
this
tell-
does not win the World Cup.
you know what? I kind of have to agree with James there because like that out of the outside the midfield and the forwards and I guess to a certain extent the goalkeepers like that the defense has always been like it's never been like a set in stone like you're starting for or whatever. It's
Well, I
always been a mixed
remember-
bag.
I mean, it's been a mixed bag, but look, listen, Trusty, McKenzie, Richards, you've got youth there, and one of
Yes.
those guys is going to come good. And if you compare, if Chris Richards
That's a lot of hope.
can keep his performance high, and you can stick him next to Cameron Carter-Vickers in an important game, I feel confident that they'll bully their way through it.
What about
I
Mark?
feel good about
Yeah.
that with Dest and Jedi on the sides.
What about Mark?
I'm happy with defense. Go to the midfield. Tell me all about it. Fosse's a kid. He plays right back for Standard
Juniper?
Liège.
For Standard Liège.
Standard Liege.
Oh, whatever.
Get it right, bro.
Pricks.
Yeah, but what about Mark McKenzie? And where does he fit into that?
Dude, he's a center back. Mark McKenzie seems to always have very awful, terrible, bad luck every time he plays for the U.S. But this kid is slowly putting together a solid career. He's playing in France.
Toulouse, 23 games already?
Yep.
That-
Dude,
yeah.
he's a valued member of the team. He's wearing number 3.
I mean,
He's,
I think
When
this
you
guy's a
gotta
starter. This guy
when
might
you
be
gotta play
starting.
PSG, when you have to play PSG and throughout the year, I mean, hey, and he started, hey, I think, yeah.
I'm all about listen, I've been a Mark McKenzie truther for a long time, and I hyped him up
Whose
and they
lineup?
proceeded.
Whose lineup is that?
Oh God.
I don't know.
Oh,
No,
man.
just
USMNT takes. We
Just
don't,
takes.
we don't even follow him. But,
All right, hold on. We gotta get through the rest of the roster.
let's
Let's
finish
do
this.
the midfielders because we got midfield talk.
Well,
We got midfield talk.
Tyler Adams.
Gentlemen.
Tyler Adams has been playing out of his mind ever since he came back from injury. In the
After Took
Premiership.
discovered that he was playing
For a top 10 English Premiership club, he's got to be starting. Johnny Cardosa, who's going to be battling for a spot, playing really, really well for Real Betis, possibly coming to bottom feeders Tottenham here in the future. Diego Luna, well, actually, let's hear from the man himself, actually.
Oh,
Well, I think he's a player that we follow from the day that we signed in the USA national team. And of course, yes, we can, we want to give another possibility, not only in the January camp, if not to have continuity. It's a player that can provide different things during the game. And yes, and I think it's important for him to feel the confidence from us. And I think he was good in the January camp, and that is why we wanted to provide the possibility to join us again.
Diego Luna might be
Well,
starting.
I think he's
dude, I think like for sure. Let's Oh no, let finish off the group, then we'll talk.
All right,
Finish
well,
off the
you
group.
got Weston McKennie, who, like, he's got to start.
Oh, yeah.
You got Giovanni Reina, who, I'm sorry, you could punt him. And
Agreed.
And Tanner Tessman, he might be riding the bench, even though I'm very excited for him. He might be riding the bench here.
Oh yeah,
because
Tanner Tessman is not a starter on this team.
Yeah.
I say you start Diego Luna in that advanced midfielder role. Like Gio Reyna, it's over, man. Like he's gotta go somewhere.
This guy
and
is
play
Reina
soccer.
starting? Nope.
Oh my god.
No, it's gonna be
He's gotta
Luna.
go somewhere and play soccer first before I
yeah,
even want him on the team again.
If he can't cut it in Dortmund, I mean, at that point, you might have to consider playing like in Serie B, Championship football, second
The
division
USL
Spain.
team should take a flyer on him.
I wouldn't go
You know
that far.
what? Bring him back to Chicago.
MLS
Bring him to Chicago.
MLS
Let's say if Greg can work with him.
MLS.
That'll be
that's
spicy for the memes.
That would be spicy.
Oh God, I want it so bad.
That will be the most awkward locker room.
It could get awkward though. I mean, but as long as Greg has the ability to just be like, hey, do I have the ability to like kick his ass out the locker room? If he does, become a problem immediately, then they're like, and they sign off on that. I'm like, all right, let's bring him in.
Well, let's stop laughing at him. What do you do? Like, listen, I understand this. You know what this is? Actually, I bet Gio Reyna starts. You know why? Because I don't know if you guys remember, but all through the late 2000s and early 2010s, when a U.S. guy was struggling at his European club and couldn't get minutes, somebody, whether it was Arena or Bradley or somebody, was giving him minutes to put him in the window to shop him.
You know what? I think we got rid of that strategy because that's not a very good strategy. Like the best national teams in the world don't even pull that shit off.
So the best national teams in the world, though, tend to have good strikers and good forwards. So U.S. might have a world-class forward in Christian Pulisic. It looks like they do. But beyond him, who else are we excited about here? Patrick Agyamang, Yunus Musa, Christian Pulisic, Josh Sargent, Timothy Weah, Brian White.
Brian White,
yeah, you gotta give me some background on that guy. That's the first time I've heard of him.
Oh, he plays for Vancouver. He's good. He just this is like that, like, oh, let's get him in camp and let's see what he like. This is like he's not even gonna touch the ball. He's not gonna play.
What is he?
He's just
29 years
camp.
old.
Is he 29?
He's 29 years old. He's scored 47 goals on the wing for Vancouver since 2021, which is...
How is he 29? I thought he was... Damn.
Is he... at that point, you should have just brought Jordan Morris.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But there you go.
So, hold on, though. Yeah, I thought he was younger. Never mind. Yeah, this seems really... You know what this is? This is the ripcord option. Remember when Jurgen started... And everybody was like, why the hell does he keep calling Eddie Johnson in? And then Eddie Johnson started scoring goals and then got that move to Seattle and everything was cool.
Eddie Johnson. Yeah.
Eddie Johnson, if you're out there in the ether, you are the coolest. I am a huge Eddie Johnson fan.
Damn, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
MLS Transfer says it's crazy because what are the MLS haters gonna say now? That Poch doesn't know what he's doing? Like Greg with this?
Why?
With this?
There's not many MLS
Brian
guys.
White.
No, Brian White is one of them.
Aguimong and
Schulte
and
yeah.
what? Trusty.
Trusty.
Because he's back in Colorado, right? I don't even remember where Trusty is. But I don't know, guys. The US team, well, A, Musa as a forward, that confounds me. But B, like the US team, like we only have so many like of high quality players. And then once you get down to like third striker, it becomes a pool of muck. Like I would not say, I mean, Josh Sargent is playing really well right now, but Josh Sargent, I would never, I don't know, man. I like Haji Wright. I know Balogun doesn't seem to be playing. Like,
yeah, where's Balogun at? Is he hurt?
I think he's just riding the pine. He's somewhere in France now, right?
He's been in France.
You know who Joe Reyna reminds me? I forgot the guy's name, man, but it was a kid that he played. It was an English kid that played in Bayern Munich, and then he ended up going to Manchester United later on. But he was always on the injury list. I forgot his name, man.
I don't know.
Shoulder
but
injury.
Like, DK.
He's been out from a shoulder injury for a long time.
That makes sense. But like DK just came back from injury, so we don't even know what he can do. Like the striker position's exciting because there's a lot of exciting guys, but like none of them are like.
Yeah,
none of them are really taking the mantle.
Gio Reyna is our Owen Hargreaves.
And speaking of Owen Hargreaves,
that's yeah.
And speaking of Owen Hargreaves, let's